Namaste, how are you? Welcome back to my class. So we will be moving on to this side of the mat, or one side of the mat. And sit back on your heels. Sit back on your heels. Keep your toes together. Separate your knees out to the sides, maybe as wide as the sides of your mat. And we're going to fold forward. Okay, coming down onto your arms, keeping your arms slightly bent. Rest your forehead onto the floor. Okay, so now if it's quite difficult for you to place your forehead on the floor, you can make double fist with your hands and then place them one on top of the other. Okay, and otherwise you can go all the way onto the floor, resting your forehead. And we will just stay here for a few breaths. We'll just stay here. We will just stay here for a few breaths. And just taking time to be more present in the body and how the body is feeling today. Also, being aware of the breath, being aware of its flow. And once you feel more relaxed with your breathing, help yourself up, back up onto your elbows and bring your knees back together and stretch your arms out forward until they're fully stretched without lifting your buttocks away from the floor. Okay, and we're going to start and slowly reach further until the hips come right on top of the knees, and rest the forehead once again back onto the mat as well as your chest. So you're just feeling your back concaved. And then helping yourself back up onto your hands, placing your fingertips on the floor and then sliding them towards your knees as you round your spine towards the ceiling. Coming right up onto your knees and taking a breath in, raising your arms up over your head, reaching up all the way to your fingertips and then reaching backwards slightly. And as you exhale, fold forward, placing your hands back onto the floor or onto your mat. Hands right under your shoulders, okay? And fingers nicely spread on your mat. Your knees right under your hips. So just checking that. And pressing away from your hands, broadening between your shoulder blades. Making sure you're not sinking on your shoulders like this. So you press away from your hands. And as you breathe in, drop your belly to the floor. As you lift your sit bones and collarbones up. And as you exhale, draw your abdomen in, round your spine to the ceiling. We'll do this a few more times. Breathing in, dropping your belly, concaving your back, coming into your cow pose. And as you exhale, draw your abdomen in. Breathing in. And then out. Breathing in. And then out. The next time you breathe in, come onto a neutral back position. Again, pressing away from your hands. Making sure you're not sinking on your shoulders. And just taking that right leg back. Your toes facing downwards. As well as the front of your right hip facing downwards. So we'll stay here. And be sure your abdomen is engaged in the pose. But if you want more challenge and if you think you can handle more balance, you can stretch your left arm forward. As you exhale, lower your left hand back to the floor and take that right leg onto the right side. So keeping it still in line with your left knee and your toes pointing forwards. You can't see my leg or my foot from that angle, but that's all right as long as you keep it in line with your left knee and toes pointing forwards. Okay, so just making about 4 sets of breathing, 4 sets of inhale and exhale. And when you're done, take that right foot onto the left side. Okay. Oops, I got my block here. So it's just on the floor. Feeling that stretch on the right side of your body. And breathing in. Taking your foot back to the center and then bringing your knee back to the starting position. And we'll do the other side. Stretching the left leg back, making sure your left toes facing downward, left hip facing downward. And when you finally get your balance, stretch that right arm forward. Okay, and then lower the hand onto the floor. You can stay where you are. I just need to flip over because I don't have space on my left side, just so you can see the left leg coming onto the left side. Okay, so just rest away from your hands, doing your 4 sets of breathing, and then out to the other side. And then left leg back to the center. Oops, sorry. And then your knee back to the starting position. So I just need to flip over again. And then sit back on your heels. So just relaxing around the wrists. And then coming back up and curl your toes under. Raising your knees off the floor. So you're lifting your buttocks towards the ceiling. Pressing away from your hands, pressing your chest towards your thighs or towards your legs. So we're gonna keep the legs bent and we're high up on our toes, keeping the heels up. So we'll focus on that. And then as you exhale, encourage both heels to come towards the floor and then bend again. So just a little stretch for your hamstrings. And then you can do alternate. So encourage one heel to come to the floor as you bend the other leg. And we'll do this a few times. Okay, and then high up on your toes, lift your buttocks towards the ceiling, and then encourage your heels to come to the floor. And we're raising that right leg up, just throwing it up on the air as far as position, and just drawing your knee forward and placing your foot on the inside of your right hand. And coming onto a low lunge pose. Take a breath in, raise your arms up. You can keep your gaze forward and feeling that stretch on the front and left thigh. And then as you exhale, fold forward. Bring your arms alongside your body and then placing your hands back to the starting position. And curl your left toes under, lift your knee off the floor and take your right foot back to the starting position or downward dog pose. Okay, and then high up on your heels again. Raise your buttocks towards the ceiling and then exhale. Encourage your heels to come to the floor. And then throw your left foot up in the air and draw your left knee in towards your left hand, and then left on the inside of your left hand, and lower your knee onto the floor, uncurl your toes, rest the tops of your right foot or top of your right foot on the floor. And when you finally feel more stable on your position, raise your arms up over your head as you breathe in. Palms facing each other, and just keep your gaze forward. And as you exhale, fold, taking your arms back and then hands back to the starting position. Curl your right toes under, raise your knee off the floor, and then step your left foot back to the starting position. Okay, and then throwing your right foot up and drawing your knee again on the inside, right foot on the inside of the right hand, and keeping your left knee up, and we're gonna come onto a higher lunge. So if you notice, my right knee is right on top of the right ankle, so you want to maintain that, and then the left heel is high up, so just on high onto your toes. And hips square to the front, raising your arms up over the head, so you can do it either here or here. Okay, so usually this one is easier, breathing in. As you exhale, fold, and then reach down to the floor. Take your right foot back to the starting pose, and high up on your heels, and then encourage them back to the floor. Throwing your left foot up in the air and drawing the left knee in, and then left foot on the inside of the left hand. Keep your right toes curled, so you're high up on your heels, lifting up as you breathe in, raising your arms up. Relax your shoulders, keep your arms active. You can keep your gaze forward. And then folding forward the next time you exhale. And then reach down to the floor. Take your left foot back to the starting pose. And then from here, we're going to keep the legs bent and walk the hands towards the feet. And then placing the heels back to the floor. So I'm just going to move so you can see me on the camera. Okay. And just allowing your arms and your shoulders to relax. Letting your head hang heavy towards the floor, the crown of your head pointing towards the floor. You can hug your legs if you want. Okay, and then coming onto a squat. Do it really slowly. So just letting your blood circulation settle. And then take your legs back. So we're going to come back to the starting pose, keeping your toes together. But this time, instead of the knees out to the sides, keep your legs together, keep your knees together. And we're going to fold forward. So again, if you can't place your forehead onto the floor, directly onto the floor, you can make double fists with your hands. Otherwise, if you can, slide your arms alongside your legs, turn your palms up to face the ceiling, and place your forehead onto the floor. Relaxing from here and just allowing your shoulders to drop to the floor. Just feeling your hips and your lower back melt down to the floor, totally releasing onto the floor. And then sitting back on your heels. Place your hands on top of your thighs, turn your palms up to face the ceiling, keeping your spine straight. lengthening. Close your eyes and we'll just remain in this position for a few more minutes. And just allowing your breath to slow down. Remain seated until the flow becomes longer and slower. Right, and then opening your eyes, bringing your attention back to your surroundings. So there you go. It's a short flow that you can do as a warm-up. If you notice, it produced a lot of warmth throughout your body, so it's something nice to do like in the morning if you want to pump up your energy so that you can get through the day. Thank you very much. Once again, namaste.